All right, I'm about to hit up a run, just a little run around the block here at Super Training Gym. So I'm gonna warm up with doing a little bit of tib stuff. Normally, when I run, I don't do anything to warm up. I just go and I start running. And part of the reason for that for me is that I just don't move very fast. So I just start out super slow, and that's a good way for me to warm up typically. Today, I'm gonna try something a little different. See if I can get this area kind of unlocked. So we got this tib bar. So you get some good range of motion out of this. Heel goes down quite a bit. I think you can do this a bunch of different ways. I'm doing it with my knee bent to kind of start. Pretty boring, you know, to come in and do something like this, but I'm not gonna spend that long on it. Whenever you think about doing anything in the gym, you can kind of think about, does the amount of time that you're doing it make it worth it? And so if I can absorb my run and recover from my runs a little faster, to me, that sounds like it's worth it, even though this is kind of boring. Because while I like to run and I like to lift, everything's also just about your ability to recover from that stuff. People keep asking me about my shoes. You'll see my shoes in a minute that I wear for running. These are Ultra, they're called. Ultra? Let's see. There we go, Ultra. Took me a second to figure it out. I got these from my homie, Zach Bitter. He actually gave me these a long time ago. That's why they're probably, at this point, pretty dirty looking. But I love the wide toe box. I also wear Vivo barefoot. They're a sponsor of our podcast. I'm grateful for that. I wear those mostly for lifting weights. Like, I kind of think it's nice to have a little bit of padding for your run. And you'll see in a minute, I don't even wear these for running. These are worn for walking. Another thing you can do with the tib bar, you take this weight and get it spaced further away from the center of gravity there. Maybe go here. And this will increase the difficulty of this exercise. I just made 10 pounds into probably, let's see, yeah, probably about 2,547 pounds, somewhere in there. So increased it. Whoa. Wait, what are we filming here? What is this? What's going on here? Sorry, I get excited about training the tibialis. This is a great piece of equipment. We have another tib bar around here somewhere, but I like the individual one a lot just because, I don't know, it's a lot easier to get in and out of. But you just simply slide your foot into here and you're pretty much good to go. Another thing you're gonna notice from this exercise is that you'll actually get some like kind of hip and ankle involvement. And now that I move that center of mass out, like this exercise is very difficult now. I can also flex the quad. I can also go at different angles. You want to be very careful with this though. But I could go out, I could go in. Look at that. That's getting all that to stretch. That feels really good. We're doing a drop set for the tibs. Oh! Let's see how these tibs feel on the run. So there we go. Boom, we're done. I'm just gonna do a set of calves or two right here. Go on a little slant. So you keep this real simple. You go a couple reps. Actually, you're gonna bend the knees a little bit, stretch the toes a little bit more. One way to flex your calves is to just get up on your toes. But what you want to do when you're doing this kind of stuff, because I'm trying to manipulate some of the soft tissue and the fascia, so you want to flex as hard as possible. So not just get up on your toes, but when you feel like you're kind of done, then you might want to hold on to something and just crank down even harder on it and really flex the shit out of it. You can get behind and see the calves. This is me going up on my toes, okay? Up on my toes, and then this is me flexing with everything I got for 5 seconds. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's like flexing pretty hard. Here's flexing all the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just gonna do one more and that'll be plenty. Pretty incredible how taxing it is to just flex something as hard as possible. But you'll see kind of almost a little diamond shaped little guy coming out of here. That's all this muscle shortening a lot. And this can be very protective for those of you that are worried about your Achilles tendon when you're running. That's a full year injury if you hurt that fucker. And then for some of you that are more advanced, you don't really need to hold on to anything, but you might need something for balance. I was actually taking just a little bit of weight off my legs so I could flex even harder. And then for some of you that are really mutated, the real mutants out there, you can do one leg. That way you have more weight on you. So I'm just gonna do like 2 of those. There's also multiple muscles in the calf, so you might wanna play around with foot placement. Really drive the toes into the ground and really try to squeeze the fuck out of the ground with your feet. And for those of you who are into the whole barefoot game, you can obviously do those barefoot. It might even be more effective. kind of hard to do the tib bar that way. But there you have it. There's a simple warm-up. I don't think it took that long. Now I'll show you my shoes that I wear to run. Is that a G-Wagon? Me putting my shoes on is just a way for me to show off my vehicle here. I stopped at the grocery store today and I popped out of here and the guy goes, what in the hell is that? I said, it's really expensive, that's what it is. So how funny is this, right? We're talking about taking off your shoes and letting your toes splay, but this is what I choose to run in. The reason why I choose to run in these guys is because it has a carbon fiber foot plate in it. And it helps this thing bounce all around. It's kind of hard to even do it. It's hard to even bend it. Like this is, I'm being like totally honest, like it's not easy to, whoa, might have broke it. But it does this the whole time I run. And it protects my feet quite a bit. I don't really love that it's not that wide underneath me, so it pinches my feet a little bit. But it does have this mesh, so my feet get to kind of splay out a little bit. When I first started running, I talked with Zach Bitter, and I talked with Ryan Hall, both guys that have all-time records in running. Ryan Hall has the US marathon record for time. Zach Bitter had ultra world records before. And they were both like, hey man, just do whatever is gonna help you run the best. So that's why I got these. I was like, these cut down on your time. They help launch you forward a bit. And I also will run in those here and there, but I haven't gotten the confidence or the foot strength to run in the shoes that our cameraman's wearing right there, which I will do over time because in the long run, that's gonna benefit me quite a bit. It'll help strengthen my calves, my feet, my Achilles tendon, all the muscles in my feet. And I totally understand that. But I'm a beginner runner, so I'm just trying to take advantage of this. Something to give me a little boost, give me a little bit of help during the run. This right here is my pre-workout. Take it every day. It's a Mind Bullet. I absolutely love it. It gets me in a good frame of mind. Sometimes I do it before the podcast. Kind of puts me in a good mood type of deal. Give it a shot. You can check it out at mindbullet.com. Time to run.
Rebel soul child got a fist ball. I'm a respawn of ancestors and I'm blessed on. They are not him, tell him fess up. I get check stub, hella carefree, nothing scares me, hella reckless. Yeah, I got next up, right? No, we not the same, cause see when I look in your iris, you likely to talk but not ready to ride. You do better keeping it quiet. My pen is ignited, my soul is enlightened. I like who I am, but I'm biased.
One of the greatest things you can ever do for yourself is to challenge your will. The fourth pudding of willpower is the training of willpower. And over time, you'll have a reservoir of willpower that will be built up for any situation that comes at you in life. That's what this stuff is for. Who are the motherfuckers that doubted you, that didn't think you can make it? What about your own doubt, self-doubt? Remember, the greatest respect you'll ever earn is called self-respect. This is how you get it. Can't be outsourced. You gotta go get it yourself. This is too hard for you to run. Try my low and slow technique. Here. 15 seconds and then walk. 15 seconds, walk for a minute. Little tiny hops. Just like old granny. Low and slow. Over time, maybe you can pick her up. Lean forward. Drive the knees. Shove the elbows back. Lean forward. Drive the knees. Throw the elbows back. Last little piece, rock back and forth a little bit. Boom, 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 boom. In that upper body. Right here. The man who loves to run, just because he loves to run, is gonna run further than the man who loves the destination. I don't time this, I don't count it, I just go and do it. Because I'm obsessed with the journey and what will that make of me. Be made of something different. This is how you make yourself into something different than you were yesterday. This is where you get constant improvement right here. How long did this take me to do it? Who the fuck knows and who the fuck cares? There we go, just hit up a run before we're about to podcast. Felt really good. Trying to kick those knees up a bit, trying to lean forward a little bit, trying to get a little bit of this action here. Trying to keep the feet straighter. Whatever the case is, it just feels like I'm improving all the time on it, and I feel incredible. I don't have like a bunch of stats that I look at and say, oh, I got faster, I ran this way, I ran that way. But I know that I have improved a lot. You can watch the videos and you can see I'm improving my speed, improving my pace. Ryan's car, we almost blew out the transmission. I was running so fast. So we're gonna have to get him a Tesla that has 1,020 horsepower in it to keep up with me. Anyway, have a lot of fun with this stuff, and I know I work out a lot. I know sometimes the stuff that I demonstrate is on a different chapter a lot of times, or maybe even a different book than the book you're currently working on with your own story. But what I want you to always have some thought towards is, can you be better than you were yesterday? Can you be a little bit better than you were last week, last month, last year? When you take that picture at Christmas next to the Christmas tree and you make that postcard to send out to the family, do you look the same as you did last year and you're not pumped about it? Or are you actually making improvements? And I just want to encourage, this is not to hammer anybody down. This is to help lift you up. I lifted some weights in my time, but what I'm more obsessed now is the lifting of other people, trying to bump you guys up a bit and have you understand it's one foot in front of the other. I started walking about 10 years ago and it turned into me running. It turned into me going from 330, probably pre-diabetic, I don't even know, because when someone's that big, who even bothers to go to the doctor and get anything checked? I do know my blood pressure was high. I do know my blood was very thick from various things from powerlifting. But I was able to turn it around by doing a lot of things that were simple, and then over time, it starts to make you look like a crazy person because I kept adopting new things. But it didn't all happen overnight. It all started with a first step. You can take that first step too. I think for anyone that's listening, if you can walk, you can probably figure out a way to jog, not run. Probably figure out a way to jog. Jogging, for those that don't know, is a made-up exercise. It's as made up as a tricep pushdown. It's as made up as a bicep curl. It's literally made up. The co-founder of Nike made it up. That's why they make these bouncy shoes. You can look all this up. This is real. This is real life. This is true. Jogging is bouncing from one foot to the other and actually intentionally doing a little heel strike. Because when I do that, I can stay low and I can go slow and I can control a lot of variables. The ground isn't getting away from me, right? Ideally, you would like to be able to run. All of us should gain access back to what we were when we were young. I'm not trying to change anybody. I am encouraging for you to be able to do some of the stuff you did when you were a kid. And I know that you used to run. I know that you used to jump. I know that you used to throw stuff. All little kids do that. But now that we're older, someone says, Uncle Mark, throw me the football. I chuck the football. It only goes like 13 yards, which is not very impressive, and it hurts your shoulder. Let's figure out ways to gain access back to that. Let's figure out ways to run. Jogging is a light heel strike. You're not going very fast, and you're staying low, and you're going slow. Can you figure that out? I want you to try it. I want you to practice it. If something hurts, I also want you to back off because that's not a good sign. Strength is never weakness. Weakness is never strength. Catch you guys later. Whoosh.
Rebel soul child got a fist balled. I'm a respawn of ancestors and I'm blessed, They are not him, tell him fess up. I get check stub, hella carefree, nothing scares me, hella reckless. Yeah, I got next up.